Welcome back to our podcast. My name is Cammie and this is
Navina.
And we're back for episode 7, y'all.
7.
Seis?
Oh,
Seis. I was in year 3 Spanish.
Yeah.
I don't know why I don't remember that.
Seis.
Anyways, y'all, we have tea. We have so much tea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
So much of it.
So much is happening. Twitter is blowing up. If you can probably tell by the title of this video, you know what we're talking about. Trisha Paytas left Frenemies. And we're so sad about it.
We really are. It's like really heartbreaking.
It honestly is. So, because we have so much tea, actually, a little bit ago, I recommended to you we should do like closer looks, deep dives into people. So this is going to be like a mini test run of that. We're going to really deep dive into the history of the feuds between Ethan and Trisha and figure out what led up to this and what are their, patterns and everything like that. I've decided that we're going to put TikTok of the week at the end of the video, and we're actually going to cut Squishmallow of the week for this week. We didn't really feel like it was adding much to the show. What are your thoughts?
I enjoy it because I want to show you guys all my squishies. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it is kind of eh. So,
maybe we could do a video of me showing all my squishies.
yeah. Maybe that will be a whole segment, just showing all of them. But, yeah, we decided not really important. It's important, but
Not like that.
not a major part.
No.
So, yeah. So, TikTok of the week will be at the end. So, make sure to stay at the end for that. We're going to use it to kind of lighten up the mood.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just going to jump right into what's been going on. So, yeah, Trisha left Frenemies. They had their third and final fight was a blowout. And it didn't really look like much surface level. But once you start digging into it, it was really bad.
Yeah.
And there's lots of details to it, so we're just gonna kind of, explain everything. I actually took notes on each fight that they've ever had.
Oh, God.
And so we're really gonna get into it.
We really are. And I got my hot Cheetos.
Oh, yeah. So I'm gonna pull up this document, and we're gonna talk about it. This is us from the future. We just wanted to clarify, this is not a hate video towards Trisha Paytas.
Not at all.
Or Ethan Klein. We appreciate them both. We love them both. They're both not doing great right now. They both have done things that I don't agree with.
Right.
But this isn't a hate video. We don't agree with sending people hate unless if they have committed actual crimes.
Yeah.
Even then, I don't know. But like James Charles,
No, ma'am.
no ma'am.
We're just giving our opinion. We're just talking about it.
Just chatting it
Yeah.
up. I've made evidence for both sides. This isn't a hate video.
No.
But back into the show. All right, so we're first going to talk about the first Frenemies fight. So the first Frenemies fight took place on only episode 5 of their podcast. And in my opinion, it was the worst fight of them all. It was awful. And I'm kind of surprised that they kept doing the show after this fight because it was just that bad. Well, no, I would say the next fight is the worst. Excuse me. Next fight is definitely the worst. This one's, I would say, is number 2. So yeah, this episode takes place on episode 5 of Frenemies. And it basically starts because Ethan calls Trisha crazy. And he's saying it in a joking way. He just kind of goes like, oh my god, you're so crazy. Like, you're the craziest person. Like, you're way crazier than me, right? And for someone, let's just preface this, Trisha has mental health problems. She's been diagnosed with schizophrenia and stuff like that. I think BPD is one of them as well. I think that's borderline personality. Yeah. So, Trisha has dealt with mental health issues, for a very long time. And so calling someone crazy when they deal with mental health issues is just never a good idea. It never ends well. It's triggering. So Trisha instantly gets triggered by this. Yeah. And she combats it with, Ethan, you hide you're crazy. You're really just as crazy as me, girl.
Right.
But you hide it. You don't show it.
Right.
And Ethan's like, what are you talking about? I am not crazy at all. And another thing Trisha says to combat that is she says Ethan was addicted to pills. And Ethan is kind of like, why do you always bring up old stuff that I tell you and use it as a defense mechanism when someone says something that you don't like about them? And so then they go back and forth. Ethan says Trisha is effed up. And she said, no, you're effed up. And so, yeah. And then she calls him a gaslighter. And this is something we heard Trisha say in almost every fight.
Right.
I think it's out of two to three fights, she says she's gaslighting him. So I linked the definition of gaslighting someone. To manipulate someone by psychological means and questioning their sanity. So this was interesting. From what you've heard about this fight, do you think that Ethan was gaslighting her? Calling her crazy, you know?
I mean, if he was joking like, oh my god, but you're crazy.
It wasn't really like, I mean, you would have to seen it. He was more saying like, girl, you're crazy. More like that. Instead of like, oh my god, you're so wild. You know what I mean? So,
I don't know. I don't think he really did anything wrong.
I think to gaslight someone, you have to be in an argument for a very long time. But, I mean, I don't know. I personally think that this fits the definition pretty well of gaslighting. But I would say this is like my only, the only fight where I really think Ethan was truly gaslighting Trisha. Right. So, hey. Okay. And then Trisha says, your life is sad and pathetic, and mine is happy and thriving. Which is tea. And then Trisha talks about how Ethan pressures her to do things she doesn't want to do, which is something me and Nevaeh have talked about a lot in private. And this is one of the main reasons why I struggle to watch Frenemies. I love the show and I still watch it, but it really does bug me because when Ethan finds something juicy about Trisha's life, he really digs in. Right. And he doesn't stop.
He just wants to keep, he's like so intrigued, and he's like,
and he knows it will get views. Right. That's personally why I think he does it. He knows it will get views. And he titles a lot of the podcast episodes, you know, of things that make Trisha not necessarily look the best. Right. Which bugs me as well, you know? Right. So I think they're both in this argument. In my opinion, I think Ethan's a little worse than Trisha. Because I think you don't call someone crazy who has mental health issues. No. You just don't. Hey. She calls him misogynistic. She doesn't really say much to back that up. And then this is when the 45 to 55 deal with Ethan comes in. So on Frenemies, Trisha gets 45% of the earnings from Frenemies.
It's not 50.
No. Oh. She gets 45 and Ethan gets 55. Now the 5% extra that Ethan gets is to do productions. So like on our podcast, we have lights, you know, the set, whatever. The same for them. Computers, cameramen, everything, whatever. And then Ethan also gets 100% of their highlights, so which is short clips of segments that they do on the show. And he gets 100% of that. I've seen some of those videos get upwards of 4 million views. I might be over projecting, but they get a lot of views. And Ethan gets all the revenue from that. And that money directly has always gone to employees. Right. Even when Frenemies was not a thing, that always went to H3 highlights went to paying for the employees that work there. A.B., Ian, Dan, sorry, forgot his name for a second. Love, you know, all these people that we see, that's how they are paid. So Trisha brings it up, and she's always kind of, or they, I'm sorry, I'm going to try, because they and she, her, so I'm going to try to do both. They always bring up this point of, well, you get 55%. Right. And Ethan has always explained the same way, it's for this. Right. It's in every argument that they've ever had. That is a big part of it. So she brings it up.
Because this sounds exactly like what just happened today.
It's very similar, yeah. They say things like the podcast, his podcast is dying. They say things like, if you renegotiate my terms, I'll come back. They say things like they will not reimburse him for the set. Ethan says, I can see why your relationships don't work out. They say that they don't like Moses' family. Ethan apologizes. Ethan is like, you know what, you're right. I should not have called you crazy. That was messed up. I'm sorry. Right. We see this happen after every fight. Ethan will say, oh, I'm sorry. Trisha's not having it. Right. Trisha doesn't accept the apology, and she says he looks unhappy in life. And then I think she storms out. They storm out. Trisha storms out, and that's it. Right. So that's fight one. It's pretty bad, but I think this next fight, you're going to be shocked at what happens. So the next Frenemies fight, it takes place on episode 13 of the podcast. Ethan and Trisha have planned to review beauty products. They ran out of time the previous episode on episode 12, so they bring it into episode 13. Right off the bat, Trisha says, I don't think this is interesting. This is not 2012 YouTube. So they're like, I don't want to review beauty products. We're not beauty gurus. And one of the first things that come into mind, as we'll watch the most recent fight coming up, their fight is also about segment ideas. So most of these arguments that they have, it's around segment ideas. So I'm like, this is a trend. Trisha is not happy with the segments that they're doing on the podcast. Right. She's frustrated. You know, this is always brought up. Trisha brings it up, and Ethan explains why they are doing it. It's not necessarily to recommend the beauty products. It's to, you know, have fun because they're dumb. They're like the K-beauty kind, right? Like the dumb face mask, whatever. I'm sure some of them are, not trying to be offensive, but hey. So this is evidence that I found in their fight, and I linked to the exact timestamp. Okay, here we go. So Ethan is saying, if you have ideas for this podcast, we're all ears.
Let me know.
So I'm going to play it.
If you have any ideas for the podcast, I'm all ears. Because we're out here, you know what I mean? Like, we're trying. AB's put all this together.
I have a great idea.
Okay.
Pizza Hut just came out with a triple treat box.
You want to eat pizza with me?
Yeah, I want.
Do you want to cancel this and get a pizza? Because I'm down. Just give me the word. You're actually down, aren't you?
Yeah, because we were just talking about how we can only eat one meal a day.
Okay, so your idea for a video is to eat pizza with me?
Yeah, the treat box. It's a triple treat box. It's stacked like this. It's pizza.
We get it, right? So Trisha is like, yo, there's this new Pizza Hut box. It sounds bomb. So delish.
Right.
Delish.
Diligence.
Ethan, I didn't play it because it's a long part. But Ethan is skeptical. He's like, I don't know, Trisha.
You're dumb.
Yeah. And then he's like, all right, we'll get pizza. And then Trisha's fiance Moses goes to pick it up.
Right. We love Moses.
We love Moses. And after that, Trisha says, we should have Hila as a guest on the podcast. And I'm going to play another clip.
I said you have powder on your lips, but then you didn't get it all off. And the whole episode was just staring at.
Can we have Hila as a guest on our podcast?
No.
Why? Because people think like I hate her or she doesn't like me or something. Like I feel like we need to have because like, you know what I mean? Like I like Hila so much.
She could sit in. Yeah, she could probably sit in.
You just said no. Now you're like,
just a snap judgment. She's busy. Don't talk about Hila. We're cutting this part out. She doesn't want to be talked about.
Are you fucking serious?
I'm serious. We have to cut this.
Okay. So Ethan's like, we ain't talking about Hila. Hell no. And Trisha is like, what the hell? Because this has never happened before. And no one let Trisha know behind the scenes that Hila doesn't want to be talked about in the podcast. That was never talked about. Right. Communication was not there. So Ethan says that they have to cut it because Hila doesn't want to be talked about. And that is Trisha's trigger for this fight. She's like, ooh, I do not like that.
Right. And she didn't know, like, what? Like,
they should have communicated to her.
Do you know the reason why Hila doesn't want to be talked about?
I'm getting into that one moment. Okay. The premise of the argument is rooted in family issues. Trisha is always saying to Hila and Ethan, Moses doesn't like you. Moses is never hanging out with you, and it's because he doesn't like you. And Moses is allowing this to happen, and he's saying, oh, that's just Trisha. It's just Trisha being Trisha.
About Hila?
About Hila and Ethan.
Okay.
Moses doesn't like you guys. And so it really bugs Hila, and it causes this fight between Moses and Hila, because Hila's like, what the hell?
Right.
You don't like us? Like, why are you saying that? So she's causing this big rift in the family, and she also makes comments like, your mom isn't invited to the wedding, I don't want them there, stuff like that. So it causes a massive fight. Trisha is asking that Hila would communicate with her. Hey, if you don't want to be talked about, let me know, and let me know why. That's all I ask.
Right.
And then
that's fair.
That's totally fair. The fight keeps going and going, so I made a list of everything negative that Trisha says during the fight. Ethan doesn't say much. It's more just rebuttals and like him trying to reason with her. So I didn't make a list for Ethan, but this is all the things Trisha said. And I want to remind you guys, this is while they are having an episode. Like,
Yeah.
not like a podcast episode, like a mental episode.
Right.
So, and they apologized afterwards.
Right.
So all of these things that I'm about to say, take them lightly. They said...
Is there video evidence of this?
Oh, yeah. I took these notes directly from the video. I watched these videos for you guys and took notes just so you know it's true. So the first thing Trisha says is the H3 podcast isn't honest and no one will care. She calls them fake AF. Trisha says she's giving them more views. They say F her, meaning Ela. They don't give a S word about you guys. Moses doesn't like you, and you guys don't like him. They call Ela a B word. They start criticizing their parenting. Why do you have a nanny?
Right.
Why do you need childcare? I would just be around my kid all the time. And then, where it fully escalates and Trisha's just about to walk out, she calls Ela a C-U-N-T. And they bleep it.
Wait, is Ela there?
Ela's not there. But Ela, according to Ethan on their episode afterwards on H3 After Dark, Ethan says that he told Ela to watch it immediately after because they do all the editing while they're filming it.
Right.
So, they say, I don't want to come back and I really hate her. Dumb effing B word. Such a dumb effing B word. And then she points at Ethan and says, you are too and you're an effing cuck. And then Ethan gives Trisha, so Trisha storms out, she's crying, she's saying, you're gonna break up with me, aren't you, Moses? All this stuff. And then Ethan, at the end, is sitting there eating pizza, and he basically says, like, you know, I feel bad for Trisha, you know, they were having a really hard day.
Right.
And I feel bad. And we see this every time. Ethan is pretty somewhat level-headed when it comes to arguments, and, you know, he comes around and he's like, even after she said all of these things about his wife, he's still like, I feel bad for Trisha. So that's just proof, in my opinion, how much he's trying to make this work between him and Trisha and make frenemies work.
Right.
So, yeah. I mean, what are your thoughts on the fight? Like, who do you side with?
Ethan, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Do you think there's anything they could have done to prevent the fight from happening?
Yeah. Communication.
Yeah.
Communication is key. And if you are feeling so upset to the point where, like, you're gonna say some hateful stuff, you need to just cut it.
Yeah.
You know, walk away for a second, take a deep breath, and calm down. Because I bet, you know, Trisha didn't mean any of that. She was just upset.
Yeah.
You know, so they just needed a moment.
And I want to mention this too. Ethan is very well aware that Trisha has mental health problems. And he continues to capitalize on it
Right.
and make money off of it. Although Trisha does make 45%, he's also making money. And he knows, for example, this video, 3 million views, right? It got a lot of views. Granted, most of their videos get a lot of views, but hey. The video in itself was only 50 minutes. They could have totally watched this episode and just said, sorry guys, something came up, we couldn't film this week. See us next week.
Right.
He's aware that she has mental health problems, and he's using it, and he labels the video, Trisha quits the podcast and storms out. Why didn't you do testing beauty products like the whole video was supposed to be about?
Right, exactly. I agree.
Because they knew that if they titled it that, it would
more views,
more money. Exactly. So yeah, I don't that fight really made me upset. I feel like it, and afterwards they continued to make videos on the fight.
Right.
Trisha made so much money off of this because Trisha was also posting about the fight too. So it seemed like a joint money thing, you know? Not saying that the fight wasn't real, but hey.
Right.
Oh. I'm going to get this set up. We're going to watch. I'm going to screen record it when I'm editing at home, the whole fight on my phone. Insert it in so you guys can watch it with us. I have it linked at the time. So we're going to be pausing, talking about it, whatever. I'm going to be saying the timestamps out loud so when I'm editing, I know. But let's watch what happened on the most recent episode of Frenemies. Before we get into it, I want to give you guys some information. For one, Ethan had just hired a new employee. The new employee is Sam. Ian's, his other employee, girlfriend.
Right.
Sam thought it would be a wonderful idea, which I think it's great. We've done similar things, Q&As. Sam thinks it's a great segment idea. Hey, let's do an advice column, but on the podcast, and get people to, call in or ask questions on Twitter, and you guys can give them advice. More of a comical way, because I don't know who would take advice from Trisha and Ethan, but hey. Right. So they put it in, and Ethan thinks it's a great idea, and I have some evidence that we're going to go into later that I just found out while we were in your room, that I'm not going to say it because I want it to be a little shock value, but keep watching because I have some tea. So yeah, Ian and this new employee Sam are in the room with them. That's important knowledge. Also, Trisha did not know that this was Sam's idea. That's what Trisha says.
Right.
That's Trisha's argument. And also, Trisha is talking about a movie about gay and trans rights while Ethan interrupts her. So, just gonna put that out there and let's watch it.
FYI.
But Anne Hathaway, like, I think she was in on it at the end because she calls.
Not much changed since then in Texas, I don't think.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That's what's so. Okay, I'm not trying to get all like heated about this, but there's still people are still like that. Like trans people are getting beat in their face to death.
No, I'm
like,
so over that shit.
And so like watching it, I was just like, holy shit. And like Heath Ledger, Jake Gyllenhaal said Heath Ledger refused to make like gay jokes about it, like during the Oscars, and I don't know.
Is there a third pizza?
You're so not good about this. Okay, let's go to your stupid.
Make sure that
I don't like
pizza.
this segment. Just for the record, fan advice is a stupid segment.
Why?
Okay,
What are your thoughts on him?
I don't like that. I don't like that because I think, Trisha was trying to talk about something important. I think Trisha was saying something important, and he was just something that meant a lot to her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he just interrupted her. That was rude. That was really rude. I don't think he should have done that. But from that point on, I think.
Do you think that tiny little thing that happened deserved a whole massive argument?
No, absolutely not. Because they could
that's
have been.
where I'm conflicted.
They should have been okay.
Yeah,
I can see where this is going. We gotta
or just cut the end. It's literally a 10-minute argument. It's a 10-minute argument. So dumb. No. But anyways, yeah. I mean, I also wanted to mention the episode before this. It was Pride Week or Pride Month. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? Hello.
Yeah.
I was thinking of last week's episode. Anyways, love that. Trisha, the previous episode from last week's episode, so the week before Pride, Trisha's like, yo, it's gonna be Pride Month. Let's do something.
Yeah.
And Ethan's kind of like, which I was kind of like, I know Ethan doesn't have a problem with LGBT stuff, but it still bugged me. Right. I'm like, Trisha's part of that community. Right. It's so exciting. Trisha's an equal part of the show. It should be celebrated. Right. So Trisha shows up in this rainbow outfit, rainbow everything, showing off their rainbow Birkin bag, and it's just this whole thing, and it's so exciting. Ethan's wearing a sweatshirt. No participation on his point. And they didn't really talk about Pride for very long, and I could see why Ethan maybe didn't want to talk about it because Trisha was very uneducated, didn't know why Pride started, didn't know about the, riots that took place, didn't know much at all. So I could see maybe for his defense, maybe that's why they didn't want to talk about Pride because Trisha was uneducated. But also, they've never cared that Trisha was uneducated before. Right. They always, make jokes at her expense because she's not educated on certain topics. Right. So I just think it's frustrating because it's Pride Month. Trisha wants to talk about LGBT issues, and Ethan is talking over her because of some pizza. Right. Like, it's just insensitive.
It really, yeah. Like, do you want some?
Yeah. It's just not rude. And then making the yee-haw thing while they're talking about people getting killed. It's insensitive. Right. It's insensitive. There's no other way to put it. Right. But sorry, we'll continue.
Do it. It's so dumb. What's the point?
To give advice to our fans.
But that's not that's like when people run out of ideas and they start doing Q&As. Like Tyler Oakley ran ideas. So he's like, we're going to do Q&As now because we have nothing else to talk about. Okay, go ahead. It's such a dumb segment.
It's so not. It's
like we have nothing to fill the time.
Okay, well, what, you want to talk more about the what, Brokeback Mountain, a movie from fucking like 10 years ago?
It's like a lazy podcast. Like, we're going to play games on the, like, you know.
I didn't even recognize that he said that. He digs at the movie.
What, Brokeback Mountain, a movie from fucking like 10 years ago?
It's like a lazy podcast. Like,
why? Why do you need to... Why?
Okay. And what about it?
It's relevant. It's Pride Month.
And what about it, Ethan? Damn.
They talk... literally the reference that they're... Oh, here you go, Ethan. Literally the reference you're making in your costumes right now is way over 10 years old. And Trisha can't talk about a Pride movie that she finds important.
Right.
That makes zero sense to me.
I don't like that. I didn't even notice either.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that till now, so I'm glad I did. That really...
Lazy podcast. You don't do anything for it. You just show up. We do all the work.
oh my God, yeah, right.
How am I wrong?
With what? I always contribute. You never have, like, first of all, when you were doing all the podcasts, it was like Keemstar, Jake Paul, like, and everyone's like, we're so sick of hearing about this because it's everything. Like, I saw in this, you had stuff from last H3. You just recycle H3 content on Frenemies. You're like, oh, we're gonna do Trisha through the history meme or whatever. And like, you already did that on the last episode, and I saw this on.
What?
Oh, I said if you wanted to pause it to say something, you can.
Oh, okay.
Just so I'm not the only one commentating. But I am gonna commentate. So now Trisha, instead of just digging at this one segment, she's digging at all of these segments.
Yeah.
With the whole, I don't know if the whole employees were there, but a lot of them were. So that's where we made that switch.
I didn't bring it up. I didn't say it.
But the fact that it's already on there, like, I had to bring up all these other topics because I'm like, I don't want to go to that because you brought it up last week.
Let's see. We put together this Gabby Hanna segment.
I mean, I literally, again, could have done that for my head. I always chime in with my topics. Like, I always do because, like, I try and steer it.
What did you bring on the Logan Paul fight?
I brought it up, first of all, because it's something trending.
You're like, I don't even know what to say about it. Yeah, I don't even know why people watch.
I never pick the costumes. I never do the vlogs. I give so many ideas. I say dancing for the vlogs. I give all these ideas, and you don't. It's just
what's wrong with that advice
for you? I don't think it's a good segment.
The people want to hear from us.
Okay, do it.
I think Ethan is not only defending his show, he's also defending his employees.
Right.
And I feel very conflicted because a lot of people are saying Trisha's being a stuck-up brat.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that way?
No.
Not in this particular point in the fight where we're watching right now. Do you feel that way?
No, no.
I don't either. I think, Trisha, I've watched every episode of Frenemies just to put it on the record. I've seen every episode maybe a couple times.
Right.
And I've seen Trisha continuously giving ideas for these things. And I can recall maybe them doing the fitness challenge. That was one of Trisha's ideas, I think. But there's very few things that Trisha, suggests. So
she's being honest.
Yeah. And I hope there was a space for her where she could have been able to say these things in private.
Right.
Maybe she felt like the only way she could voice her opinions was on the show. I don't know. I'm just trying to give her the benefit of the doubt at this point. But, I mean, and I was talking about this too. If Navaya had an issue with one of the segments I created, I would keep that in private and I would respect her opinion. I'm not going to get all booty tickled.
Yeah.
Some segments aren't great. We've filmed segments that I'm not in love with.
Right.
Where some of them which I've cut.
Yeah.
So it's just weird to me. Why get so defensive? I get it if it's your employees that you're getting defensive for, but your own content, dude, who cares? You criticize her content all the time, saying you don't like her thumbnails, all this stuff.
Okay, do it. I'm telling you my opinion, and all the vlogs we've done, I've suggested other vlogs, and like that never does.
Well, if you don't like it, then we shouldn't do it.
Okay.
Since it's a show about me and you.
No, but you're saying I do all the work, but I'm telling you I don't like all the stuff you do. I'm just kind of go with it because I'm like, okay, I guess this is what you want to do, but I have to start saying no because some things are just not good ideas.
I like it for the record.
Okay.
Sometimes you get really interesting questions.
They're not though.
Brutal.
People are saying that she's not being grateful for her fans because she said she doesn't like the questions. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid. I mean, it's like, answer some questions.
Yeah.
If there's questions that you don't want to answer, you don't have to answer them.
If you guys asked us questions, unless if the question was inappropriate
Right.
or information we didn't want to release, or it didn't fit with a segment, maybe that's the only way I could think we would cut it. We would always answer it.
Right.
You know, always. Because we
love
appreciate
answering questions.
the 5 people that like our video. It makes me smile ear to ear. We
Right.
appreciate you guys. I just don't get saying those are dumb questions. And then Trisha says later on in their video about all of this, they said that they thought the questions were fake, but that just seems like a cop-out excuse.
Yeah, for sure.
Why would you think the questions are fake?
Right.
I guess I would need to know more information about that.
More information, please.
Brutal.
I just don't like when we spend like, well, whatever.
Go ahead, say it. There's a good creep.
But you're asking like, we do all the work. It's like we spent one frenemies rehashing all the stuff you said about Keemstar and H3 Live, which was 2 days prior.
Okay, it happened
like,
one time.
No, it's happened before where you just like bring up stuff that you've already mentioned, like, and it's fine.
Why are
But
you attacking me?
you asked me, you said tell me, and I'm telling you, like just because you guys come
I
up
said
with
what-
everything doesn't mean it's good. It's recycled, a lot of it. So it's like I can come up with
Not
new
a lot of
ideas.
it.
A lot of it.
No.
Mm-hmm.
If you
Notice that instead of
Yeah, but yeah,
Trisha
look-
saying you to Ethan about their content, she's now saying yours.
Yeah.
So now she's addressing the whole crew
Right.
instead of just Ethan.
have ideas, I'm all ears.
I watch H3 Live and we talk about the same thing, and I'm happy to talk about it.
It's not always like that. It's happened before. I agree.
It happened last time. That's all. It's happened a lot.
It didn't happen last time, did it?
The title was like pregnancy announcement, which is I'm happy to talk about the pregnancy.
We
but,
talked a lot about the pregnancy here.
but it wasn't the pregnancy announcement. H3 Live was. It's your guys' thing, which I'm happy to talk about. I'm happy for you guys. But to say like, oh, we don't recycle things, it's like, you know, you do, and it's fine. But I don't make it the same title because it's not an announcement. We're talking about your
I wouldn't say
pregnancy.
recycling. It's a different conversation.
The
'cause
original
it's
one
with
was
you.
Trisha's gonna like something. It doesn't have to be about me, but I'm just saying like the fact that it's a pregnancy announcement.
People are really upset about this too because they're like, Trisha, why are you complaining about your supposed friend, brother-in-law, wanting to share his pregnancy announcement?
Right.
But part of me feels like Ethan has been on YouTube for years. Ethan knows how much pregnancy announcements and things like that get views on YouTube. Ethan knows. That's like a big thing. I think
Right.
we've all seen it. Anybody that's been watching YouTube for a month
Right.
knows, you know? So I feel like it was just for more views to
Yeah.
put pregnancy announcement. I mean, it's exciting. I'm so happy for them, but it was a views thing.
Right.
Because it doesn't relate to frenemies
No.
at all. What do you think?
I mean, if he did title that on his H3 podcast and then titled it on the frenemies, it doesn't really make sense.
Should I check?
Yeah.
Let's check. We're having twins or triplets. That was one. Pregnancy announcement, and then we're pregnant.
So, frenemies is pregnancy announcement.
And
We're
then
pregnant.
H3 After Dark is we're pregnant.
Okay, but yeah, I don't get why he named it that though on frenemies. That makes no sense because
It really doesn't make any sense.
I don't
I mean, I'm not
understand.
trying to be disrespectful. It's
No,
amazing that they're pregnant. I
but
know
it's
that was
like-
hard for them.
that's
It has nothing to do with Trisha.
Yeah.
If Trisha is your co-host, which he claims, that has nothing to do with Trisha.
right.
But I mean, you could argue, well, they titled things about Trisha and Moses for frenemies.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. But then Moses is Ethan's brother-in-law,
Right.
or yeah. So I don't know. It's confusing. I don't think they should have titled it that though. I agree with her.
Again, when it's not a pregnancy announcement, because I'm not pregnant. You know what I mean? We're talking about your
Oh, it's
guys'
not.
pregnancy. It was an announcement. You announced it on H3 Live.
Oh, you thought that people would think it was about you
Of
being
course
pregnant?
it was, because you are, unless you're just recycling the same title you did for H3 Live, which is, it's not. It's just like, I watch H3 Live. I don't want to talk about it.
In her defense, they do talk about Trisha trying to get pregnant with Moses all the time. So hey, I could see why they may be.
In front of me. It's like, if we're being honest,
Well,
you
we were
know.
going to talk about Hila being pregnant,
Of
obviously.
course.
Yeah.
But the title has to be pregnancy announcement?
I don't see why that's a problem.
Because you did that on Friday. You're just recycling titles. It's not an announcement. You weren't announcing it.
Okay, so Hila's pregnant, and I'm talking about it with Trisha. Would you prefer that?
Anything to be more creative. It's like the fact that you just talk about what you talked about the week prior is like, and I've seen
I don't think it was Ethan not being creative. I think
No.
it was for views.
Yeah.
Like, and other people called it out. It's not just me. Like, I mean, people have called it out before. Like, the whole Keemstars, I didn't know it was like the 30 minutes was exactly the 30 minutes you did on H3 Live.
Yeah, I agree. That part was
That's crazy.
Sometimes I forget what I've talked about, honestly.
But you're saying you have all this crew that does all this work for you and nobody could remember that you talked about that prior?
I agree. Somebody should have said something. I was like, guys, why don't you tell me when I'm talking about the same shit over and over? Because I tell to them, I go,
I think this is interesting. Ethan briefly sides with Trisha. That's weird to me.
Right.
Because we see this in every other fight that we talked about. He always makes it a point to side with her at some point. So, I find it interesting. I don't know why he did that, but hey.
It happened.
yo, make sure to include this. And they go, oh, okay. But I go, oh, shit, I talked about the same thing. But I feel like you're so angry about this.
I'm literally not, but it's just so
You
funny.
are.
I'm not. I'm angry when you say
Don't,
something.
you need to admit when you're angry.
Ethan, I promise you, this is really is gaslighting. I go to a lot of therapy right now, and this really is. When I say I'm not angry, I'm not. I'm like just trying to tell you that you're like, oh, we do everything for the show, and I'm saying it's not always good. I'm not angry.
Do you think it's gaslighting?
No, but she said I go to therapy.
Speak up, B. Sorry.
No, wait, go back. What'd she say?
Ethan, I promise you, this is really is gaslighting. I go to a lot of therapy right now, and this really is. When I say I'm not angry, I'm not. I'm like just trying to tell you that you're like,
That made
oh,
no sense to me.
Well, okay. I have someone in my life. I'm not going to clarify what their relationship to me is. Someone that's very close to me in my life that has been in therapy for years and years and years. And sometimes they say, well, I've been in therapy for X amount of time. This could be this.
Right.
But I feel like in this situation, Trisha is using her therapy experience to weaponize it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like say, well, I've been in therapy XYZ,
Right.
so this is why I'm right.
Right.
Why?
Who cares? No one cares how long you've been in therapy for.
Yeah. I mean, and your triggers are your responsibility.
Right.
Ethan is not responsible. If Ethan is continuously going out to trigger you, which I do not believe, I've seen every episode of Frenemies, I don't think that's happening other than the You're Crazy fight.
Right.
I don't think that's happening. That it's not Ethan's responsibility to walk on eggshells, which she says later.
Right.
But do you think that he's gaslighting her by
Not at
asking
all.
her if she's angry?
Not at all. I think he's just trying to understand what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Are you angry? You know, what can we do?
Yeah.
You know?
No, yeah.
we do everything for the show, and I'm saying it's not always good. I'm not angry. If I was angry, I would like leave or something, but I'm not. But you
But
telling
you're
me I'm
upset
angry.
or something. You're not
I'm
upset or angry.
not.
Okay, okay. All right.
But it is like frustrating when you think you do all this work.
Right there, in Trisha's voice, she's upset.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
tell. I'm not! I
Yeah.
do the same thing. I do
No.
the same thing.
I mean, we're gonna try not to speak for Trisha, but I agree with
I
you.
just, you know, I can just, she's upset.
Maybe they feel like if they say I'm upset, that's gonna make it worse, or
Right.
maybe that's giving Ethan ammo to title it that, like
Right.
Trisha is upset
Right.
or something. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate
Yeah.
here because I don't want to just seem like this is a Trisha hate
Right.
video.
No.
It's not.
and it's
we
like-
love Trisha. She's going through a lot right now.
Right. I'm not siding with anybody, honestly. I think, you know, Ethan did something and Trisha did something. It's
Yeah.
50-50, honestly, in this case, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, we'll get more into it.
Yeah.
When we look at the tweets and stuff, we'll figure out fully whose side we're on. Yeah, I mean, I've stated in multiple of our episodes that I love Trisha and I stand
Right.
Trisha. I am not the type of person to stand someone and not do their research.
Right.
I looked at every fight they've had and I took notes and I realized that Trisha is not perfect. We are depending heavily on someone with mental health issues. And I'm not saying that they aren't capable, but we're putting so much pressure on someone, and I think, yes, Trisha messed up, but what do we expect?
Right.
They have proven for years and years and years that they've been on YouTube. They have episodes sometimes, and they go through lows and struggle, so this is nothing new.
Right.
Trisha has been in many fights with Ethan.
Right.
So, I don't know where I was going with that, but hey.
Hey, girl.
Think you do all this work and like think, oh, we're doing all this great stuff, and it's like it's not that great sometimes. A lot of it is, and I like appreciate all the work you do and stuff like that, but it's also like not that great. I don't get input on like people we hire, like all this stuff like that. I don't get
People
I don't
we hire. Why would I ask you about people I hire?
because it's frenemies and you take the budget for paying the crew. That's what you told me. You take highlights, you take 5% to pay the crew.
No,
so why don't I get any input on the crew or what we do?
These are employees of our
So why are you taking
company.
highlights and 5% of frenemies? You told me that it was to pay them, that they could be working
for production costs.
Okay, but you told me
It's for
at the
production
beginning.
costs.
You told me at the beginning.
Okay, one thing, I hate this argument. I don't agree with Trisha at all on this, but I do think Ethan should be giving them a list of, this is what I spend the money that I'm getting from your face on this video, the highlights, the money that I get 100% of, this is what I'm spending it on for our show.
Right.
I see why Ethan deserves a little bit more. He produces it. I get it. But Trisha deserves a list if that money is not being given to them. So
It's like they could be working on other things. Because I made that argument too. I'm like, well, they're already age 3. Oh, they could be working on other things. So I'm like, okay, in that case.
For production costs. I take 5% extra from the podcast revenue, and I take the highlights revenue, and everything else we split.
Right. So for production costs.
Yeah.
But again, you were about to move us all to downtown LA, and I was just like, but the production cost should be included.
Yeah.
Like you were going to share the cameras because Dan said, "Oh, we have to get new computers and new cameras." Well, I'm like, Frenemies
And I
has the budget.
obliged you. I said, okay, fine.
But you fought me on it
because we bought a studio downtown. That was always the plan, by the way, that we were going to move downtown. And then all of a sudden, I was
For
like,
H3,
yo,
I
and
had
I was
no
like, yo, we're
consent to it.
moving. I told you ahead of time, but it's fine because
You didn't tell me downtown
we're
LA.
still at my house now. But I said, okay, so I was like, yo, by the way, we moved into our new office. We're going to be there next week. It's good. And then you're like, oh.
is there a problem with moving to downtown LA because it's downtown LA and it's like sketchy? I've been wondering that. Like, why doesn't Trisha want to move to the office?
I don't know.
Like, is it because of this crew? I don't know. Maybe you guys have insight on that. I don't know.
You're like, I don't want to go down there. But we had made all these plans to move the set and everything and to do everything. So you're like, I don't want to go down there. And then we talked about it for a little bit and I said, okay, fine. And so we had to buy.
But that was the first time we ever spent money on production costs.
It's not about that, dude. It's literally about we are producing the show and I'm taking a cut. I feel like that's beyond reasonable.
All the
Beyond
highlights.
reasonable.
5%.
Yeah.
5%. Do you realize how much 5% was of our last one? That should be enough. But also like highlights, and then the membership I had to fight for because you weren't, oh, I forgot to tell you about the members. Like,
I giving you
crazy.
50% of all the members, even though we work and do all of the work. I don't know why you fight me on money. The deal you have is beyond reasonable.
Okay.
No, but I feel like a lot of frustration you have about everything with the.
Frustrated. When I'm bringing stuff up, you get defensive.
It makes me a little uncomfortable because we all know Trish has so much money that they're literally just arguing about money. It's like a rich person complaining about that they don't have enough money. We don't make any money from our show. Zero.
Not $1.
You will not catch us complaining about money.
No,
No,
ma'am.
that's just not classy.
No, not at all.
It's trashy. Why would you want to put this on the internet, Ethan?
Make
It's
it make
trashy. This doesn't look good for you either.
sense. Nope.
Not frustrated. I'm pointing out these things because I would like to know. I just want everything to be a lot more transparent because I'm like, what are the production costs?
Can't be more transparent.
Can you show me all the costs of production
It's
that you?
not like an itemized thing. We are doing the show. That's the
So
cost.
if you don't think 5% is like enough for the
5% and the highlights was what we agreed to at the beginning, and that's what it is.
Oh my god. Okay, if you think that's what it's worth, okay.
It's worth more than that. To be
All
honest
right.
with you.
Right? I'm gonna press play.
You're getting a very generous deal, and the sponsors that we work to get, right? We do all the work to bring the sponsors.
I mean, I had all of Adam and
50%.
Eve for the first like 20 shows. So I mean, I appreciate what you do, but don't act like I don't bring it. I brought.
Yeah, you
all
brought
of that.
Adam and Eve, and so that was one sponsor we worked with.
That's
which
all
was
we had for
awesome.
the first like.
And now
10
we have
sponsorships.
tons of sponsors every episode because it takes time, obviously to get the show up and pitching, and you get 50% of all of that. I feel like the deal you get is super fair. And I feel like you're gaslighting me, to be honest, saying that you're not like frustrated about
But
that.
I'm not.
Because it
Ethan.
really is a source of like every time something comes up where it's like, I hired somebody or this, that, and like, oh, you don't do that much on the show.
I'm bringing attention
It's
to it. I'm not
literally
upset.
always-
I would text
it
you. I would tell
literally
you if I
always
was.
comes down to, oh, you get this extra 5%. And so
Because you're saying,
not
why
fair.
should I get an input on the employees? That's what you said. And
because
you brought up to me
they
that.
don't just work on frenemies, they're my employees.
Okay, but when I said that to you originally, you said, oh, we pay the employees. They could be working on other things. So why don't we have frenemies employees and I get input if we're spending 5% of the budget towards them?
I think that's not what it is.
That's
If
what
I
you said.
So then that's.
But
I don't remember,
to say
but that's not
gaslighting
what
is
it
telling someone how they feel, and you're telling me how I feel, and I'm telling you I don't feel frustrated or upset. So I don't know.
So, Ethan has said on Twitter, I believe this was a deleted tweet, that Trisha is a co-host and employee of H3H3. That Trisha does not own any of it.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts? Do you believe that Trisha is just an employee of the show?
No, she is the star as well. It's her and Ethan.
Well, yes, but do you believe that this is partly Trisha's show? Like, their name is on it.
Right. I agree. I think so.
Even though Ethan does all the work. Like, not all the work, but they do everything production-wise, editing, sponsored, everything.
I mean, you do all of the editing, and it's our podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think, honestly, personally, I think they should have done a separate channel for Frenemies the second that they saw it was blowing up.
Right.
Simple.
Yeah.
If I decided to make my own channel, which I've been thinking about, we did a podcast on my channel. That's just weird.
Right.
That's weird.
Right.
Every other podcast that I've seen has a separate channel.
Yeah.
I don't know. Weird. Anyways.
Gaslighting is telling someone how they feel, and you're telling me how I feel, and I'm telling you I don't feel frustrated or upset. So I don't know what.
That's not what that means.
I don't know if gaslighting is telling somebody how they feel. I think
No.
it's telling somebody things to make them feel crazy.
Right.
That was the dictionary explanation. I might be wrong. Let me know, but I'm pretty sure that's the definition, and that doesn't match.
What else that could be? How am I gaslighting you by telling you I'm not feeling this way?
Neither of them are gaslighting each other. Just want to make that the gaslighting is not happening in
this
my
way.
opinion.
Yeah.
How is that gaslighting you? I'm not feeling this way.
Okay.
I wouldn't show up. I wouldn't come here. I would,
You listen. You can be upset and not
I'm not.
because but you could be upset and then also not be like, I'm not showing up. Fuck you. Like there's levels.
If I was upset, I
I'm
wouldn't
just
show up.
explaining. I'm just because you can be upset and still show up.
But I'm not upset, and that's what gaslighting is. Because you're
Okay.
saying I'm gaslighting you by saying.
You're not upset. You're perfectly. You're in a
Wow.
perfect condition right now.
Okay. Wow.
I'm gonna replay that because that's where Trisha gets upset and wants to end it.
You can be upset and still show up.
But I'm not upset, and that's what gaslighting is. Because you're saying I'm gaslighting you by saying.
You're not upset. You're perfectly.
Oh,
You're in
wow.
a perfect condition right now.
Okay. Wow. Holy cow, that's crazy.
Do you believe what he said was wrong?
He's not gaslighting her.
What just happened, in my opinion, from what I've seen, and mind you, I'm 18, I don't know much. I haven't been on this planet very long. When people say, okay, you're right. Like, if we were having an argument, you're right, Nevaeh. Everything is perfect. It's all your
sarcasm.
opinion. That's not sarcasm. That's shutting down. That's saying, I don't care about my opinion anymore because I'm over this argument.
Yeah.
I'm just going to let you win.
Right.
Because I want to move on.
Right.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, that's... Trisha Trisha does that all the time.
Right.
Trisha will say, you know what? I'm done. Let's just move on.
Right. There's
So
nothing wrong with moving on.
I don't get it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you. I just don't see what you just did. That's really.
What did I do?
We have to end it now. Like really.
What did I do?
We got to stop for real. Really. We need
Okay.
to stop. Please. Okay.
Whenever you're ready, you can
All
walk
right.
away.
So. No, because I don't want to title this.
It's the pizza curse.
But can we just like
I'm
edit
not
it
going
out?
to title it
It's not. All
Trisha's
right.
thing. It's the pizza curse. It is.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't have got pizza. The pizza? Oh no, it was pizza. Trisha, let me just say,
The
I'm
fact,
sorry.
Ethan, that you just did that, you're right. You're
don't know
right.
what I just
Nothing's wrong
said.
with you. But I go. You don't know how much therapy I go to a week. I go to 4
But
Zoom
Trisha,
sessions a
you
week.
can't-
No,
I understand,
Ethan,
but okay,
what you
all right.
just said was, "You're right, Trisha. Everything's fine." That's insane. Like the fact that you did that to me is like
It's
insane.
not insane.
Do you think that's insane, what Ethan said? Because that was the ending factor. You're right, Trisha. I'm gaslighting you. That's. I mean, every argument I've been, someone says something like that. Right?
Right.
I don't feel like that's out of the ordinary.
I don't.
Maybe
know
Trisha
either.
just had it, and that was their form of shutting down. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. And I hate how they keep bringing up how they've been in therapy. A lot of people have been in therapy. I'm sure Ethan has been in therapy at some point.
Yeah, I'm in therapy.
Right? I'm in therapy. I don't know. The only time I'll bring up if I'm in therapy is if I'm arguing with someone and they won't get help.
Right.
And they need help. And I'm like, don't tell me I need help. Girl, I got it.
Right.
I'm
getting
getting
it.
I'm getting it. I'm in therapy.
Right.
Get yourself some help.
Yeah.
We're friends.
was
We're
so
having
nice.
a friendly conversation. I shouldn't have to walk on eggshells around everything I say.
All right, Ethan,
We
I'm
have
asking to end this. I'm asking
You can
please.
leave anytime, Trisha.
But then you're making this thing where we're not ending the show, and you get to sit here and be like, okay, well that just happened, and you're eating pizza, and then
I will
joke
end
and
the
whatever.
show the minute you walk
All right,
off the
so let's
frame.
just end it, please. Thank you guys for watching, and I don't want it to be a thing where you're just sitting here eating pizza and you become a meme.
So then I'll say, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Obviously, I don't want to get in an argument over
I really
like
need
your
to
emotions.
leave.
Okay, all right, we're done. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
It makes me want to cry every time I watch. I've seen this like 5 times. It makes me really, really sad. Makes me really sad.
And that's the end of Frenemy.
Well, it just
No,
feels like a parent's
probably not.
divorce.
Yeah.
It's awful. It makes me really, really sad. Because, like, I feel like the main reason why, for me at least, why we started our podcast was an inspiration because of theirs.
Right.
And so it's just, like, to see, like, your inspirations, like, fight, it sucks. It hurts.
It really does.
Yeah. Like, I teared up when I watched it. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's really sad. It's really,
is.
really sad. And we don't take this lightly. We're not making a joke out of this because this sucks. This is not fun. So, end of the fight. What do we think?
I think that was a bunch of baloney. They should have cut that. You know, they shouldn't have put it on the social media. And they should have kept that to themselves.
Who does it help?
Nobody.
It didn't help the fans.
Nobody.
It didn't help Ethan.
Nobody.
It didn't help Trisha. It didn't help the crew.
You know what helped it? It got them views, and I think that's what Ethan's goal probably was, which is messed up because that was a real situation that should have not been out in the open.
I feel like Ethan's thought process maybe was, we need to put this in so people know why we stopped Frenemies.
Yeah.
I was just talking about this with Navaya, and you guys might disagree with me. I think it would have been better for everyone if they cut it and no one knew why Frenemies ended.
Right.
People would have been talking about it for
Oh
weeks.
yeah, they probably would have gotten so many.
Yeah, everybody would have blown up in that situation.
Yeah,
It would
for
have been
sure.
great for everyone if they just cut it, ended Frenemies, and no one knew why. I know a lot of people would be frustrated. They'd be like, what the hell, where's Frenemies?
Right.
But it would have been better for everyone involved.
Right, I agree.
I mean, that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. Yeah.
And if maybe they signed something saying we're not going to talk about why the show ended, and just leave it.
Yeah.
Because now Trisha has free reign, and we're going to get into all of Trisha's tweets. I have all of their deleted tweets, everything. So
Got the tea.
yeah, I did my research, but I feel sad for both of them.
Yeah, me too.
I think I feel a little bit more sad for Ethan after the tweets that Ethan put out, or the one tweet.
Right.
It really broke my heart. Because Ethan kind of alludes to that this has been going on for a while. And that made me really sad. I think Trisha needs to get their head out of their butt a little bit, and Trisha needs to apologize because Trisha still hasn't really flat out made a clear point apology. They'll say I'm sorry and then retract it. So, and that's confusing for everybody. Before we started reacting to the video, I said I had tea and I had screenshots, and I do. I just realized they're on my phone, but it's okay, I can find it. So I'm gonna go on Deaf Noodles really fast because I have some more insight into the fight before we get into the aftermath. Frick! Guys, we just got another video dropped. Okay, wow, this is gonna be a long episode. It's fine. Okay, hold on. I found some tea that I needed to find. Dan, that works on the crew, went on Discord and dropped some information. And I wanted to talk about it. Well, okay, here. Dan from H3H3, why they had to shut down the Frenemies. this is one of them. This isn't all of it. Saying just while LOL. They've gotten death threats, doxing, D-pics, a bunch of things. People are trying to threaten all the crew members because of this. I mean, and Nevaeh, before we filmed this episode, she was saying, you know, I think they're going to come back. But personally, I don't think it's going to come back because the crew is so upset.
Yeah.
Like, so upset. I think if they tried to put it back on, they'd have to get an all-new crew. Honestly. But, I don't know. Okay, I've got more. Trisha seems under the impression that Sam, the new employee that came up with the segment idea for advice, came up with the advice segment idea. Not the case. So Dan is saying Sam didn't come up with that idea. What are you talking about? She just put together the emails. So just put together, okay, we're going to do this advice segment. Sam, you get together all the questions.
Right.
I guess she inferred us saying we don't want to. Ethan decided to postpone and cancel it until things calm down, meaning the vlog, I'm guessing. And that's also not the case. We were prepared to go shoot today. It was the plan. It's my job. No one told her that. I don't know why she keeps repeating that. So Dan, first, I didn't even read all of this, so this is new to me. Dan is saying we didn't refuse to film.
Mm-hmm.
Ethan wanted to postpone it. Interesting. Also, the segment was discussed prior to the show. Trisha was on board. So apparently
Right.
Trisha said, I'll do the advice column. Whatever. And then, yeah. So that's one of them. Let's look at the other ones. Then who did and who told her all that? Sam did? No one told her that. I genuinely don't know why she keeps repeating that. So, about Sam coming up with the segment. Did you all say you didn't want to work with her? No. I guess she inferred it, saying we don't want to. Same enough. Is Off the Rails still happening tomorrow? Yes. Okay. Which the video just came out, so we're gonna watch it. One more. They had a team meeting with a ton of people about everything that happened. Just inside stuff.
Yeah.
If you guys are interested, you can look at it. Okay, so there's some insight. That's what Dan said. So we have conflicting arguments here.
Yeah.
I know the stereotype is that Trish always lies. I don't know. I don't know why they would lie about that, because that makes them look worse.
Right.
Saying that Sam came up with the segment. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who I believe on that. I need more information on that. I'm not gonna comment. But hey. So yeah, I think let's cover this. Trish then released 2 videos mainly defending herself. They didn't apologize.
Right.
They said that they're sorry for quitting Frenemies, that they wish they could have gone on longer. They didn't apologize, unfortunately. So there's that. I'm not gonna watch the videos. It's just over and over the same thing. If you guys want to watch them, easy search. Now let's get into the tweets that happened after. So let's get into Ethan's statements. Ethan only released something on Twitter until now. We have an episode that we're gonna watch really fast. So ultimately, this is my fault for ordering pizza while I dressed up as Uncle Fester, because that's what happened last time. At the end of the day, Frenemies was a beautiful experiment that I will always cherish. I've learned and grown so much from the experience, and have Trisha to thank for that. She's been a dear friend of mine throughout, and I will always be grateful for all that she's done for us. Peace and love.
Aww.
And then erased most of my recent tweets. I've tried to find them. They're not on the internet. Maybe Def Noodles has them. I haven't checked. Regarding Trisha, shouldn't have said that on Twitter. I'm gonna take a step back for the evening. Happy National Best Friends Day. He posted that after the video dropped. Not sure what to do with 4,000 Frenemies hoodies. They were gonna have a merch line. I'm sure they'll still release it. I might buy one. Who knows?
Who knows?
And he retweeted H3's tweet. New episode with a heavy heart is our last. As it is our last. And that's all Ethan has said. I haven't looked on Ethan's Twitter recently. I looked like a couple hours ago, nothing, so I don't know. We have a lot. So these are all the tweets that Trisha posted last night and has now deleted. I couldn't figure out the order because it's all 1 hour ago. So, when he texted me, the crew was upset, meaning Ethan, with me at 1:30 last night. I genuinely was taken aback, like I still am. I had no idea who had came up with the idea. I really thought Ethan did. I've always been appreciative. I've said that in my videos today. Damn. I've been quiet on social media because this shit feels awful. She has not been quiet on social media. None of it feels good, but I needed to clarify what I said. I'm allowed to speak on what I'm trying to say. Don't peace and love this BS. I think that's regarding Ethan's tweet. You brought it to Twitter. You brought up merch sales. I didn't respond privately because I'm not going to take the space to effing Jesus and then blast me on Twitter saying I incite hate, but she's great and wonderful. Great time together. Ugh, BS. I don't come on here to say my crew is getting so much hate. And don't come on here saying my crew is getting so much hate from Trisha's video. Those are your employees for you to protect. You knew they were upset. Why would you let it go out? My video said nothing negative about them. I'm triggered AF right now. I didn't respond to his text because I'm pissed. He said I'm being unfair when he was rude AF to me, telling me I just show up, patronizing me, saying I'm perfectly in a perfectly stable condition. I was in shock. I still am. Just like you texted me last night, if I was still down to do the Rage Room vlog today, because he already spent $5,000 and it couldn't get it back. I said of course I will. I'm a professional. It's work. We paid for it. I'll show up. I don't leave people high and dry. So Trisha's saying that they would have done the vlog.
Yeah.
He texted me about it, and I was, of course, more than willing to do what I can and take no money. Like, it's not about the money in my pocket. Jesus Christ, I made $9 million last year off of I'm okay without money. Why do you need to say you made $9 million in a year? That's just kind of braggy to me. I offered today for Ethan to still promote Frenemies merch, and I'll take $0. I don't even want to cut anymore after all of this, but I would be happy to promote it, as I didn't want to leave them high and dry, and that people would still buy, especially under the circumstances. He brought it online tonight. He watches 2 seconds of my video clarifying what I said. He tweeted how his crew is getting hate because of my video. He tweeted I wasn't responding. He tweeted my percentage of sales. Nothing about this situation is anything I wanted. I don't want crew members to ever feel disrespected. I don't want to leave the show. I didn't want to leave the show. Leave the friendship with Ethan. Like, none of this feels good and none of this benefits me. And stop bringing up my mental illness BPD bullshit. I'm on medication right now. I have been for a month, and I don't use any of that S as a crush or an excuse. Technically you did, because you said you were in therapy. Hey. Because I do have more my S controlled than before, and I don't feel entirely in the wrong, and I honestly don't care anymore. I just don't. This is the exact problem. I knew this was going to happen. He's going to deflect on the crew that were all fans of Ethan before he hired, and their girlfriends and wives. Like, of course they'll always be in his favor, and I'm made to look like the same old Trish. Knew this was going to happen. Hours later, he texted me that the crew isn't comfortable, so they weren't going to film for us. Okay, hire a cameraman for $500 or lose a $5,000 deposit, whatever. So Trisha's saying, okay, the crew didn't want to work? Well, then hire another crew.
Yeah.
That's kind of unfair. I mean, it's a day's notice.
Right.
But, hey. Blah, 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 blah. This is just so much. But yeah. And then Trisha, this is the main important thing. Trisha Trisha exposes some of their messages, their private messages. And one of the messages, this is serious. The trigger warning, hold on.
Yeah.
This is about anti-Semitism. We don't take this lightly. It's disappointing, honestly. I don't support Trisha's actions at all in this. It's cringy, it's offensive, and it's not okay.
Right.
We support any Jewish viewers or Jewish people in the world. And this is awful.
Right.
You know, no one should say these things, even if they're just a joke.
Right.
No. I don't have the message on hand, but it went along the lines of Trisha saying I was being so Jewy.
Right.
It's interesting to me, and I'm not defending Trisha. Trisha has said a lot more offensive things about Jewish people in the show, and it's never called out for. And if it is, it's by Ethan, and then everyone's like, okay, Ethan took care of it.
Right.
why is it just now being brought to light that Trisha is being anti-Semitic?
Yeah,
Is it because Trisha's already being canceled
probably.
and people want to join in because they're frustrated and they didn't feel like they had a voice before? And now that everyone's mad at Trisha, you know? I mean, what
It's
are
their
your
time
thoughts?
to shine, man. That's what I hate about a lot of, like, that's... I lost my train of thought.
Cancel culture?
Yeah, I'm just like, when, you know, someone does something wrong, not necessarily wrong, but something like this, you know, like, people are mad at Trisha, now they're probably gonna bring up shit from the past, you know, just because, to make her look worse, probably, and, whatnot. That's what I just,
Yeah. I just wanted to clarify that we think it's weird that the internet is adding it on now instead of canceling Trisha directly for these things. And we aren't defending Trisha whatsoever. We don't defend these actions.
I like that.
I mean, of course we don't agree with what Trisha says.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, just want to make that clear.
But
I do think it's weird that it's being brought up now. That
Right.
was my only point. Trisha made another statement. It's really long. Just of it is they don't want to do the podcast anymore because it's bad for their mental health. I'm sorry. That's the gist of it. We don't really need to read all that. All right. Well, like I promised, we're going to do TikTok of the week really fast, and then we're going to close the show. So let me pull up the TikToks. Let's get in a better mood because that was heavy. All right, guys, you know what time it is. It is time for TikTok of the week. Let's get into it. All right, first TikTok. It's a work of art. It's a masterpiece. It's Mickey Mouse. Clubhouse.
Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Come inside. Ooh.
It's fun inside.
Come inside is fun inside.
Big purr.
Big. Big. No. Did I just spit on
No.
you? I literally saw it go in your hair.
No.
Okay. Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Let's get into it.
Period.
I didn't know Mickey Mouse had like a dad bod. What do we think?
I love that. That was hot.
Would you wear this outfit though?
I would, honestly. I'd look pretty banging in that outfit.
Those are some cute bathing suit bottoms.
But that's just like there's no top, so like my boobs would be out and about.
Come on, topless. Come on, Playboy Mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have a follow-up for that. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I somehow got on Shrek talk, guys. This is gonna be an interesting few weeks. It's bad.
I want to do that.
Man's really said Lil Nas.
Yeah, I love it. That's the vibes of the week.
Yeah.
SOUT.
This is how I feel this week.
Don't bang my line till you know you wanna.
Those are great. I love those.
I love it.
Okay, next one. Lady gets rats stuck on her dress. Oh my god.
Oh no.
It looks like poop.
Oh
She's
my
like
God.
jiggling it out.
Oh my god, I would cry so hard.
Okay, but this is something I just noticed. Can we talk about how see-through her dress is?
Wanna bang my line till you know you wanna.
Miss Girl walking out the house like that.
I don't see what's see-through about it.
You see her underwear line? You don't see that?
I don't know.
That's her leg and that's her underwear line.
I feel like that's just the dress.
B, no, you don't see her legs.
I don't know, B.
Y'all, okay, I'm gonna zoom this in so you can judge this. Y'all can see her underwear, right? That's underwear. Look at, okay. This is her leg, right?
Yeah.
That's black.
Yeah.
That's underwear.
Oh.
Do you see it now?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm glad we settled that debate. Oh my god.
Should we like fight about it and then post it on social media?
Oh my god. Get views?
Yeah.
Nevaeh storms out and quits the podcast.
I am done. Bye.
Bye.
I can't believe that just happened.
Oh, yeah. Via, I'm so sorry. That was so cringy. I don't know if I can put that in. That was a scene. And scene.
That scene.
Mwah. Wait, how does it go? You know the Sharpay Evans?
Oh, yeah. I love it.
Okay.
Party.
Party. Ooh, that was really good.
Party.
Party.
Party. Party.
Okay. You'd have to be like an ogre.
SOUT.
You'd have to be an ogre. Whose butt is gonna fit?
Nobody's. I mean, you can make it fit. Probably not all the way,
B, that's a torso. That would literally like, you'd throw up your guts. You're welcome.
I mean, what is it? It's just like a little...
What is it though?
Who knows?
Is it supposed to be art?
I think so.
Okay, but like, would you put that in your house?
No. Kim Kardashian probably would.
You think?
Yeah.
Ooh, maybe. Do you think she has a dungeon
100%.
where she puts her booty plou statues? Maybe she puts it in like her rose garden.
I love that. That's really cute.
I feel like I know flowers that look like that.
Tulips.
Okay, oh my god, I keep rolling. I'm on a roll. Do you think, like, how do you think cavemen, like, do you think they had... I've never thought about that before.
They made it out of, like, clay.
But that would break, right? And who wants a porcelain dildo?
Maybe they, like, got a rock and shaped the rock and then, like, sand the rock and then they...
Ooh, that's a process.
Self-made.
Because, like, what if you were busted and you could never get that D?
Well...
Like, how did you get it on? Just your hand?
Probably.
Yeah. I mean... We can't talk about that. I was about to disclose some information.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say something, too, but it's really inappropriate.
Yeah, and you're a minor, so we have to be careful.
Well, no, it was just, like, my dad was talking to me about how, like, it's so easy to make a pocket pussy in prison.
Oh, yeah. No, and women, like, they make, like, ice
Yeah.
Zizos.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yummy.
Zizos.
That might feel kind of good, though.
Oh, yeah, they make, like, glass ones that you can put in the freezer. Yeah.
Oh, I kind of love that.
But they make booty
Yeah.
plou, and I feel like that would be better.
Oh, yeah, because it's like, ooh.
It's, like, cold. But, like, if it was, like, a
that.
vibrator, I feel like that might be a little uncomfortable.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because it's more sensitive, you know
A
what I
booty
mean?
plou.
A booty plou. Oh, my God, should we get merch? Booty plou?
Booty plou.
Is that booty crew?
No, booty plou.
Booty plou crew.
Booty plou crew. Podcast.
Purple and blue mixed together. That plou.
Booty plou.
Booty plou. Okay, we went down a rabbit hole on that
A
one.
little bit.
Wow. Okay.
Hi.
Hi. Next one. My 13-year-old brother being pansexual. Do you get it?
Yeah.
I just want to know what liquid that was. Like, how does it look so real? It's like watered down mayonnaise?
Probably. Yogurt, maybe?
No, because yogurt
Paint?
is like chick. Chick?
Chick.
Thick. Oh my god, we're tired. I'm
It's ink.
sorry. Okay, next one. You probably already seen
Yeah.
this one. But hey, let's watch it because it's... Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. Not even a chuckle. I'm just like, every time I watch that video, I get the visual of him like, sorry, this is explicit, you know, going at it from the back, and then just like a plunger, and then just like, Right? That's just, or would it be in like the front like a unicorn or like the back like a ponytail? I don't know. I mean, which one? Would you rather have it on the back or the front? Or maybe on your back?
No, that's not hair. No, I do it from my hair.
Imagine if, like, instead of, like, for cupping, they use cups. They just put, like, plungers. And they're just like... Can you imagine?
Just heat up the plunger.
Well, and then also in this video, the plunger has literal shit on it.
Yeah.
Like, are you gonna wash it first before you stick it on my head?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You just take it off, it's a big round poop.
You know when babies come out the womb and how they have like a cone head? Is that gonna give you like a cone head? Or maybe like a hickey? Do you think there's like a cult that like brands people by just like putting a plunger on their head for like 5 days? Would that like suck your brains out?
No, I don't think so.
If it was on there for 5 days, B?
How would it be on there for 5 days? I think it would fall off. You gotta like super glue that shit to your head.
Well, the suction. A plunger like has hella suction. Like,
I want to buy a plunger and like suction it to my booty.
oh my god, should we buy a plunger and try it out on the show?
We're gonna shave our heads.
No, just like put plungers on and see what happens.
Yeah.
Plunger hacks. Oh my god, wait, that's kind of a
If
concept.
your back hurts, just stick the plunger and...
Like, we can see if we can, like, pop your back with the plunger.
Be my back sore. Hold on, let me get the plunger.
Y'all, I kind of want to do this segment now.
Let's
You can
do
can
it.
buy one from the dollar store.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Do you want to see it?
I want to see it.
No one wants to see it.
I want to see it.
Mm.
I'm the only one. Yeah.
That's what I did. I literally looked at you and I was like,
yeah.
That's like when you're in class and you really have to poop and it's like crowning. And the teacher's like, do you know how to do this, sweetie? And you're like,
Yeah. I'm gonna swear.
We just film a whole episode and it's just
I'm a Barbie.
Okay, we need to end it.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
Bye, y'all.
No, hold on. I'm trying to, because they work. Okay, we really need to go. Oh my god.
Bye, y'all. I hope you have a fantastic week. We love you so much. And do crack.
No. Please don't. Okay, anyways, TikTok below, follow it. Instagram's below, follow it. Official What It Be Instagram below, follow it. YouTube,
Yeah.
free.
YouTube.
Free.
Free.
Subscribe.
Free.
Free. Huh. Oh my god. Okay, and if you have any suggestions for segments below,
Let us know.
do you want to see us do plunger hacks?
Yeah.
Below.
I want to see it.
Yeah. Turn on your post notifications. I don't know what else to say to you. Thanks for being here this long. Episode 8 will be out next week on Saturday. We love you. You're wanted. You're needed. You're appreciated. But yeah, we will see you later.
Bye.
Subscribe? Yeah? I'm waiting. Okay, bye.